Hey guys, Coffee here for PokerStrategy.com's Spin Legends group. Today I'm going to be playing a $100 spin go. We managed to hit a 6x prize pool, so the prize pool is $600. And here we go. Start out with Jack-8 suited in the small blind. This is a hand that you could sometimes play, but we don't have any reads about this player, so we don't know how tight he might be opening on the button. We don't know anything about the big blind, how likely they are to squeeze, etc. So just like to make a tighter fold here, but yes, that is a hand you could think about VPIPing from the small blind there. Let's see if we can pick up any reads off our opponents. Not really. 2-4 off. It's kind of a loose hand, but fair enough. We open to fold 7-4 off. Pretty standard. Delay c-bet from the player. Takes it down. Ace-8 off. We don't really have any reads as to how strong it is, so we're going to go ahead and flat. It's a little too strong to fold and can't really shove it for value given the 3x size. We get to check call the flop with the Ace-8. We don't have to do anything on turn. And on the river, there's room to check this, but there's not really a lot of bluffs we can induce. But if we bet river small, we can still get value from pairs of kings, maybe some jacks. As it turns out, he had a worse ace. So we got some thin value on the river there. Opening Ace-7 suited for value here on the button. Take the blinds. Ace-6 off. And here, our hand is weaker than the Ace-8. It's a 3.5x shallower. Gonna go ahead and hero fold. Although, again, if we had maybe more reads, we could sometimes shove, sometimes maybe still flat. But in this case, gonna elect to just hero fold the Ace-6 off. Folding 9-4 off here. Queen-9 off, gonna VPIP that. Everyone's been reasonably tight so far versus my button. Gonna c-bet bluff. I think this is a pretty good board for us where our opponent just misses enough of the time. If he does call, we still have pretty good equity. If we check raises, depending on size, we might be able to still defend. And the king comes, and this is kind of a close situation. I elected to barrel here to try to fold out ace highs that float the flop. It's a little awkward because kings call, but I might sometimes fold a jack. There are also some draws that I kind of like to fold out. I think checking back there is also very close. But I think there are enough ace highs that I can fold out there that I elected to go for the barrel. Managed to take it down. Now with pocket fives, we're going to shove here for thin value and protection. 15 big blinds deep over the limp. Or over the min raise, sorry. No, it was a limp. 6-3 off, I'm already marking the fold button, but it's kind of close. We might be able to VPIP this, but we don't really have enough reads where I'm confident I can play it versus the big blind that's stacked up. But yeah, there's some room where maybe I could try to VPIP it if we had some better reads about Showarine. Or, yeah, Showarine. Okay. Here I am going to VPIP the 9-7 off, and I think min-raising and c-betting small is one of the best ways to get some cheap folds from pretty weak ranges. Unfortunately, we get raised here, and we just make an easy fold. Folding 6 deuce off, super standard. Min-raising king-6, room to limp it. This board, there's room to do a lot of things. Bluffing is possible because we don't really want to check fold it. Check folding is also okay. I like to bluff the flop small, a little bit as a blocker bet. It's a little bit of a weird line, but I thought if I bluff flop small, then I could barrel turn. And now we're in a little bit of a weird situation. But the thing is that we really don't have very many hands worse than a king, and our king has a lot of trouble getting showdown. But we still fold out missed draws, we fold out still pairs. I think our line looks quite strong there, so I elected to bluff shove and took down the whole pot. Open shoving a6 for thin value now. Fortunately, we lose the all-in versus the 7-8. He did have a lot of equity versus pre-flop, so that's fine. Still hovering now back to the high 700s. Been around this kind of stack for a while now. Jack 3 suited, just gonna open fold. Too weak to play out of the button here. We win with Queen Jack suited. King 6 suited, we're just going to fold to the open. It's been pretty tight on the button, no reason to play a very wide hand there for the small blind. Folding Queen 3 off. Alright, and we are heads up against Brian. So far he's been pretty straightforward. We haven't seen any crazy spewing, but we've seen him play reasonably tight. We check back ace-4. Don't think we can really get a lot of value. Don't really know how strong his limping range is. We're going to look to check call the turn here with our ace-4, but we don't have to. And now we can just try to get showdown and beat ace highs and king highs and any just random air that gives up. And unfortunately, we do face a bigger bet. And here we could maybe think about bluff catching. It's not a terrible hand, but our opponent hasn't been really, again, all that aggro. I think we can lay it down to the bigger sizing, trusting that our opponent's probably not going to be bluffing there enough to make us really need to call a lot. We flop bottom 2 pair, and we're going to go ahead and value bet. I'm value betting your half pot, which is big enough to get value from calls, but still small enough to induce check raises. I really would like to get check raised by draws and get it in on the flop. Once he flats us, we're going to go ahead and value bet the turn. Betting pretty big here because there's still a lot of pair plus draw, pairs of queens. And we do have to call it off with our 2 pair because, again, there's these pair plus draw pairs of queens that will often just check shove. And we did manage to get value with our 2 pair. And we chop here, but we've got a pretty commanding lead going into push fold. We do lose another all-in. Is this going to be an epic comeback? Nope, we win. GG, Brian. Hey guys, I'm back with another $100 spin and go. So let's go ahead and see how this one plays out. Managed to spin another 600. We have 2 unknown players. One does seem to be showing supernova stars, so it could be some sort of regular. The other player has fewer stars, so likely is a recreational. But we'll have to see how they play. We have Queen 2 suited. We're going to make a defend here. This is near the bottom of our range, but because it's suited, we're in position. We do want to defend. And here we have a very close decision, but because it's a pot-sized bet, we don't have any redraw to our 2. We're okay just hero folding there. Our opponent seems to be actually aggressive. He open shoves here. We fold our Queen 10. We open fold our 9-5. Pretty standard fold there. Jack 8, we're going to look to defend unless the small blind 3-bets. But nope, we get to flat here. Managed to flop gut shot. Not looking to do too much with this, but we'll see what bets we face. Oh, face a min bet. Okay, so here we can peel our gut shot since the price is so low. We're going to go ahead and check. And again, we're peeling now an open ender, so pretty happy to take the cheap price. And we're just going to check fold our Jack high, and that's alright. Got to see 2 cards on our draw. Limp and Queen Jack. Min raising can also be fine. It's a close decision. I elected a limp this time. And I'm betting this flop as a bluff. I do have some equity uncalled. I can still try to barrel. But I think I'll fold out quite a lot of equity share. Pocket jacks here. I'm going to go ahead and decide to slow play flat. Because it's a 3x, he's already building the pot. There's so little money left behind that I can elect to do this. I elected a min-raise flop. I think there's so little money, he's pretty committed. But there are some hands that could be a little bit tricky to get value from if a club or a straight completes. So I like to just get a little bit more in on the flop, then it's easy to get money on the turn. I think flatting there or jamming all in would all be close options. And just all close because the SPR was so low. There's so little money left behind. Here we have a pretty clear spot where we're not folding, and both calling and shoving are fine. I like to call and maybe try to induce the big blind, do something wide. Because we are suited, I don't mind if he flats us. But shoving is also very standard here. It's not going to change the EV of the results by very much. Jack 10 off, we're quite deep, so we're going to elect to just min-raise this with a pot. We're going to flat the donk. There's not a lot of value raising here, middle pair. But now, once we have 2 pair, there's definitely value in raising here. Make a 3x raise. And obviously, we're not going to be folding to a 3-bet. Unfortunately, the river completes 4 to straight, so we do just need to flat the min bet. But we do manage to beat his pair of kings that he was block betting. Lumping king 7, min raising can also be okay. And here, this is a pretty close spot where defending and folding both can be okay. I thought we had enough reads here to make the defend, but folding can be fine depending on the situation. And here we have a clear fold on the flop as we completely miss it. King 9, we're just going to check back. There's some room to think about raising, but it's a little bit of an awkward stack depth because we don't raise call all that well here. Now there's some room to value bet, but we beat bluffs and we have a lot of value versus his thin value bets here. So I elected to turn it into a sort of bluff catcher and check call. And on the river, we're just looking at check fold and hope we beat some king highs that try to get showdown, or some missed air hands. And we do win there. 10-4, we're going to be looking to stab. Does not work out this time. 7-4, we're going to again try to stab. Because this low card board hits his range really hard, I like to check back, avoid getting check raised. There's no value on the turn. Not a lot of reason to try to get fold, so we check back turn. And river, we do have a straight. We'd elect to raise for thin value. Calling could be okay, but because there hasn't been any money gone into the pot, he did min bet. We can try to get value there from 2 pair and sometimes some other hands like that. Versus a 3x here, our opponent's very committed, so we just value shove our 9s. We don't have to worry at all about not all-inning. And we managed to win against pocket 6s. GG. If you like this content and want more, join the Spin Legends program. It'll give you the best shot at becoming a hundreds regular. We'll give you all the strategies and skills you need to move up in levels and become a Spin Legend.